Today we're going to talk about how to save the panda population. But before we talk about that, hello, my name is the Archfiend, and I want to eat your baby.
I started following this guy on Twitter. Actually, I don't know if it's a guy or a group of guys or whatever. It's a little thing called Unusual Questions. And what this person or persons does is they randomly tweet questions. And one of the questions really got me thinking of things because I wanted to make a video like this, potentially a series of videos where I just basically tell you guys certain things that I see around me in life that I don't know the answer to. Now, I know a lot of you guys out there might think I know the answer to everything, but I actually don't. But between you and me, I really do. But no, seriously, publicly, I don't know the answer to everything. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I have 4 specific things here on this list that I'm going to go over here today. These are things that I don't get. I don't know the answer to, and I don't know why things are like this. Some of this is just stuff we see around us every day. Some of this is stuff that you might not have thought of, but you might wonder why aren't we thinking about this more? Why don't we have a better understanding of this? Because the Archfiend doesn't. If he doesn't, we should, right? Of course. All right, all arrogance aside. The one specific question that really got me thinking about this that was tweeted by Unusual Questions was the question that said this. And now, Unusual Questions tweets things that there isn't absolutely an answer to. It's just basically to get your mind thinking about things, and some of them are just really silly and ridiculous. Anyway, the thing that Unusual Questions tweeted was, if Pinocchio was to say, my nose is about to grow, what would happen? Oh, I'm sorry, my mind starts like having an earthquake when I try and comprehend that. But think about that. Pinocchio's nose only grows when he lies. So, in other words, if Pinocchio said, my nose is about to grow, and it didn't grow, that means Pinocchio was lying and that his nose should grow. But if Pinocchio's nose did grow, then wouldn't that mean he was truthful in the past and that his nose shouldn't have grown? And oh my God, I just think about that and I go, wow, that's some heavy shit. What I think would happen is if Pinocchio said that my nose was about to grow, I think that he would just go poof. It would just be a big puff of sawdust and he'd be dead. Like, that's what would happen. Like the spirits that control his ability to make his nose grow would just be like, oh shit, abort. They'd hit an abort button somewhere and he would just go poof and blow up. So, with that being said, that got my mind thinking about things. I was like, you know what? It was like a year or two ago. I wanted to just, make some videos, just like random questions that, people like either just take for granted or don't understand that I don't understand, and maybe people know out there better than I do. So, I don't have to always talk about things that I know absolutely everything about. So that's what this is going to be. And the number one thing on my list right here is the stock market. I have no clue how the stock market works, but I always ask myself, should I? And how many people are like me that have no absolute idea or understanding what the stock market is? Because all I know is the American economy seems to be based, and the world's economy for that matter, based on how their country's stock market performs. And I know there's like a Dow Jones number, a NASDAQ number. I have no idea why those two numbers are different. All I know is one can be up one day and one can be down the same day. And it can be good because one number could be at an all-time high and one number could be at an all-time low. And I'm like, I guess that's a good thing. Go U.S. economy. I have no idea what those little numbers are, what makes it tick up one digit as opposed to down one digit. I have no clue. I have no clue why companies even have stock to begin with. I don't know. I thought maybe when you're a company, you make a product, good or service, you produce for society, provide for society, and get compensated for it. Why do we need to invest in company with some stock and shares? And again, should I know more about this? Because again, the entire U.S. economy is based on this. And when the stock market does good, it's front page news. And when it does bad, it's front page news as well. And yet, I don't know a goddamn thing about it. Am I just ignorant? Anyway, the Electoral College. All right. Now, this is something from my wheelhouse. I have a bachelor's degree in political science and a minor in history. I can tell you right now, I have no fucking idea why the Electoral College still exists in this country. I can tell you why it might have existed in the past when things could be potentially more fraudulent and corruption could be a lot more prevalent than it is today. I mean, but anyways, that's a whole different story. The Electoral College, for those of you who don't know, basically there's delegates or electorates selected from each of the parties. Each state holds a vote, the majority, and it's not true to every state, but most states, when the majority of people vote either for the the Democrat or Republican candidate, the electorates from that state picked by that party will vote later on, a month later, to decide who the president is. Doesn't that make sense? Isn't the whole basis of democracy that the majority rules? Now, I know you're still saying, well, the majority of the electorates that vote for the president, end up rolling. But again, like I said, it's different state by state. Like there's like a state like Maine where if the majority of people say vote for Barack Obama over Mitt Romney, which isn't going to happen. Actually, no, yeah, Barack may win that state. Anyway, the majority of people vote for Barack Obama over Mitt Romney. The state doesn't automatically give all their electoral votes to Barack Obama. This is a state where they split based on specific districts, and it's so much horseshit and rigmarole, which makes you wonder why it even exists to begin with. What's the matter with having the guy take office that the majority of people vote for? I mean, first world countries laugh at us. They say, like, what is America doing over there? Why won't they just let the majority of the people that voted for one candidate over the other, let that guy become president? What's so hard about that? I mean, everything else in the American political system is majority-based. The Supreme Court rulings, majority of the people that vote for something on Supreme Court, either yay or nay, basically make it law. The majority in the Senate, if you say Senate wants to overrule something that Barack Obama put out as law, the Senate would have to have 51 seated members vote against it. For the House of Representatives, it needs a 2/3 majority. Everything, a majority here, majority here, majority here. Why my smoke alarm is chirping, I have no idea. Anyway, I hope it's not being picked up too bad. Anyway, I don't get it. I don't understand. I remember this was brought up to one of my college professors. They said, because this was right after the election where George Bush beat Al Gore, despite Al Gore getting 500,000 more votes than George Bush. Someone in class said to one of my professors, said, why do we even have the Electoral College? And my professor said, I really don't know. It's just something that's always been the way it's been, and they just stick with it. What? Even if it is just completely retarded and goes against the principle of democracy being ruled by a majority decision, even if it goes against all that, they keep it that way, whatever. Anyways, the Electoral College, I have no idea why it still exists. All right, this next part. I don't understand why some things, if you purchase the raw product of them, and that fucking fire alarm is getting annoying, why did the battery decide to die in the middle of shooting this video? That's another thing I'll never understand. But anyways, why certain things, if you buy the raw product of something, it costs more than if you buy the product refined and manufactured with something else. The two examples I want to give on this are peanuts and oranges. Specifically, the products that make peanut butter and orange juice. I hate that alarm. I'm going to smash it with a hammer after I'm done filming this video. Anyway, peanut butter. The number one prime ingredient in peanut butter, am I right, is peanuts. The number one prime ingredient to orange juice is oranges. Am I right or not? All right, I even saw on the History Channel, it was like, I don't know, the history of like beverages or something. They showed how orange juice was made. They basically put oranges in a big vat, crush them down. They take the juice, bottle it up, add sugar to it, add some flavorings, add other things, and then you get orange juice. The same with peanuts. Raw peanuts are added. Chemicals like oil, salt, sugar, other flavorings are added to it. You package it up, and then you get peanut butter. Now, if you take a quart container of orange juice, they said, I think it was like roughly like 8 to 12 oranges go into making a quart of orange juice. How the fuck is it possible that oranges that you buy off the shelf cost more than what it would take to make a quart of orange juice? The same principle applies with something like peanut butter. When you buy raw bulk peanuts, it costs more per pound than it does to buy a pound of peanut butter. And yet in both circumstances, other ingredients that cost money like sugar, oil, preservatives, other things are added to the initial raw bulk product to make that refined product, the orange juice and the peanut butter. Why does it cost more money to buy peanuts loose by the pound or oranges loose per pound or per unit as oranges usually are sold? Why does that cost more? I have no idea. Which brings me to my second ridiculous point to this. Why does gasoline cost more per gallon than water does? I mean, I got an example here. All right, Fiji water. I bought this bottle of Fiji water for $1.50, and that's pretty much what you're gonna pay for a quart of Fiji water. Fuck you, smoke alarm. All right, $1.50 per quart, which means there's about 4 of these in a gallon of water. So at $1.50 per quart, that means, let's do the math here. 4 times 2 sets 50, which is $2, means $6 for a gallon of Fiji water. Now I'm looking on the back here. Okay, it says Fiji water is mined from some artisan aquifer, which is under a volcano. It's protected from the outside elements, and then they mine it out of the ground and they put it in bottles. There's nothing even added to this. No preservatives, no fluoride, no nothing added. It's just taken out of the ground and put in this bottle. How does gasoline get made? Well, it's refined out of the ground. There's a bunch of like expensive processes that has to be gone through. That was good grammar. Jesus Christ. Did I go to college or what? Gone through. Anyway, Jesus, I'm losing my mind here. I think it's that smoke alarm. Oil has to be refined out of the ground, but you just don't pull gasoline out of the ground. You pull crude oil out of the ground, which has to go through a refined process. Before it gets to the refined process, it has to be gathered up in bulk, transported either through massive pipelines that stretch hundreds of miles, or put on a ship, a truck, some sort of containment facility, and moved to a refining facility to which it's treated with chemicals, separation of elements, bottled, packaged, put on another truck, sent halfway across the world, piped halfway across the other side of the world, all these other things, and yet a gallon of gasoline costs less than a gallon of this bottle of water, which is a one-step process of removing out of the ground and put into this bottle. All right, that's 2 steps. I don't know why that is. I guess it's because people like me are dumb enough to buy this. Is that what it is? I don't know. You figure it's got to be more just, deep than that. Anyway, those are 4 specific things in life that just make me scratch my chin the way I'm doing right now. And I've really got to stop this video because that smoke alarm is driving me batshit insane. So anyway, it's a little ridiculous video, just something to break up the monotony of seeing YouTube horror videos and me bitching, piss and moan about someone on YouTube. Just something for us to ponder today. And also, I just want to leave you with one parting note here. Something else that was tweeted by Unusual Questions. And that is, if anything is possible, is it possible for something to be impossible? Think about that. Have a great day, everyone. Fucking smoke alarm.